Hello, I'm Andrea from the Creative Dream Incubator. This is day 12 of 30 days of creative journals, and today I am journaling my Creative Genius Planning session. This is something I love to do, but I stopped doing it in the summer. I just kind of came to a place where I needed to unplan and just kind of be. And now I'm coming back into kind of let it go for a while, and then when I decided to let it go, I didn't make a plan for coming back to planning. And then all of a sudden, a few days ago, I was just like, shit, I'm not planning. I feel so disorganized. I don't know what I'm doing, and I need a plan, right? So now I'm coming back into the planning. So what I used to use is this Filofax, which is cool because it's refillable. So I've had this for several years, at least 3 or 4. You can see here, maybe I have a lot of my own art in it as like the separating pages. I can make it really nice and playful and fun and sparkly, and have different categories. So I had everything for my planning was in here. But these past few days when I wanted to come back into planning, I didn't like this. The pages felt, I'll show you this is the size of the pages, and then there's the rings. It just felt constricted to try to write in here. And so this is I do love this. This was my Creative Genius Planning Kit, and so all of my materials for the Creative Genius Planning session are in that envelope, which I love. But ultimately, this just wasn't feeling right anymore right now. So, a few days ago I bought a new one, a Moleskine plain planner. And I'm really grateful for school planners, because it was just like not everyone decides, in the second week of September to suddenly get organized and that they need a new calendar. And I was really glad that calendars were even available. So I got like the 18-month kind, so I could start right away, and I can keep using this next year. What's really cool about this is that there's the regular week thing here, and then there's page to journal on every week. So every single week I have that page. So I love that. So I find there is resistance to Creative Genius planning sessions. When I explain them to people, a lot of people who are kind of interested, when they see the pictures or get the idea of it, when they see the process of it, they kind of resist it. And I want to talk about that a little bit. In our world, we are surrounded by limiting ideas. Things like money doesn't grow on trees, things like you have to do shit you don't want to do and keep some stupid job in order to be safe and secure. All sorts of ideas that stop us from dreaming big, or from just living lives that feel really true to who we are. And those ideas are kind of sticky and contagious. So just from living in this world, those ideas come into our energy field, and then they start to circulate through our system, and they start to impact our way of thinking. Underneath all of that, you're a complete creative genius with infinite creative potential and ability to create anything you want. But the more you have these limiting ideas circulating through your system, the less you're able to act on that. The real problem with this is that a lot of it is happening subconsciously and unconsciously, and we don't realize how much we hold ourselves back. I know I've said this a lot on my blog, but we think of our excuses as reasonable reasons to not act. And we tend to not see them as excuses. So we tend to act in ways that sabotage our success without us being aware of it. So often when you're planning, when you got these great books out and you're making your plans, you don't realize that the inner critics and the limiting beliefs, they have a say in your plans. And they're in there kind of sabotaging as you're working on it, putting something out there, they're working on pulling it in. So the point of the Creative Genius planning session is to bring your creative genius into the process, and to bring your dream itself into the process, because your dream, the heart and soul of your dream, is an actual real, not live thing, but real energy thing, and you can draw information and support and inspiration from it. And your creative genius is real. You can draw inspiration and information and support from it. The creative genius planning session, yes, it takes more time than just simply writing things down, but what it does is set you up for success. This is time well spent. So for my creative genius planning session this morning, I took my plan and I brought it into the field of creative soul alchemy. So that's one of the things that we do in the Creative Dream Circle. There's an audio kind of leading you through that so that you're really grounded in the earth and connected to the cosmos and in alignment with all of your greatness. And you bring your plan in there, and even just looking at it from that perspective of being really aligned, you start to shift and change the plan. And then you bring your creative genius in. This was my creative genius today, to find out what it has to say about your plans. And then you bring your dream in. My dream appeared as a stream, a flowing stream. You bring your dream in and find out what it has to say about your plans. And then you sit with the three of you and sort of rework the plans or just note what's really important. So what happened this morning is that my creative genius wants me to remember to trust myself. My creative dream wants me to remember to do the things that keep me in the flow. And together they say the plan is not important as trust and flow. The plan is there to support trust and flow. So that was really cool to remember, especially since I hadn't been planning for a while and now I came back to planning. Sometimes when you come back into something, you're kind of a little overzealous, or I am a little overzealous. And so it's just reminding me the plan is not the end all be all. The plan is just there to support trust and flow. So that was very helpful, very helpful. And I just kind of energetically set where I want to be this week. So I took that and then went to my new day timer. And okay, so I put this on the top of this week, this note from my creative genius saying about how trust and flow are the main things. And then I had put this little reminder here. This is me. I'm a powerful creative being. I can create anything. Remembering that the power isn't in having the right plan and implementing everything on time and perfectly. The power is in your own heart. This creates a container that supports me in doing what I want to do, trusting that what I'm doing is leading me more towards where I want to be, because my creative dream and my creative genius, agree with the plan. So it's like moving me more towards them. And spending this time in the beginning of the week, first of all, planning my week, looking at, there's other parts to the planning sessions also. There's like bringing specific qualities in and filling your week with those qualities. So I've got momentum and steadiness and trust that are like filling my week so that those qualities are accessible to me. Doing this kind of work every week really helps make it easier to be sort of consciously directing where your life is going. And it's so easy to want to stop doing this and to want to just kind of scribble out what you have to do, like, move more towards like a traditional to-do list, because you don't have time for this kind of thing. But taking the time for this kind of thing means everything happens so much smoother. So I'm saying that to tell you, and I'm also saying that to remind me, right? Taking the time to do this makes things so much smoother all week. And that was another thing that my creative dream had asked me to do at some point during our session, that remember to do those things that keep you in the flow and to take the time to do them, so that every morning they meditation and drawing and doing energy healing work on myself several times throughout the day, and the evening routine I have, and paying attention to how I'm feeling and what I need. Right, so these things make it easier to put plans into place that bring you what you actually want. I get so much resistance from people who want to just focus on the practical, which totally deserves air quotes, and like get shit done. focusing on the practical without doing this work first means who knows where you're going? What's directing your ship? Right? That your small mind who's running around, you've got all of those limiting ideas bouncing around in your consciousness, and all of the inner critics kind of unconsciously holding you back, and you're working as hard as you can and you're not getting anywhere. Right? So focusing on creating a smooth, energetic path and container means that you can get the work done in a peaceful space and in a creative space, in a really empowered space, really. And that the work brings you the results that you're looking for. I'm really grateful for the Creative Genius planning sessions, feeling really good and centered about my week and about getting work done, about pushing myself to finish things and get things out there, but also about staying centered and staying in the magic while I'm doing that. So that's the ultimate, right? Bringing the inner work and the outer work, and then like finding that sweet spot in the middle. That's the ultimate, right? When you're doing the work of staying super connected to yourself, to your magic, to your heart, to your soul, to your infinite creative potential, and then putting that out into the world and making things happen and creating and doing and changing and growing. Love it, love it, love it. So that's what I'm doing today. I'm going to keep playing with this, and I'll see you back here tomorrow. Bye.